was a mentor. He was a mentor to a lot of us in the New York area, young musicians, especially in Queens, New York, which is where he lived, and a lot of the musicians were from and doing things. So I remember he was the first one to take me out to go sit in. I didn't even know what that meant. And after the play one night, he says, "Come on, call your mom, tell her we're going to go out and sit in." Called my mom and said, "We're going to go out." And Weldon's taking me out to sit in. She said, "What's that?" I said, "I don't know. I'll tell you when I get back home." so we sat in with, I sat in, because Weldon had his melodica. And we went to see Al Haig. And I knew who Al Haig was by that point. We walk up to the marquee, and I'm like, "Al Haig, he played with Charlie Parker, piano, you know." So I'm freaking out a little bit. And Weldon goes up and talks to him, and he comes back. He's a little forlorn, and I'm like, what happened? He said, "Well, he said no to the melodica." Can you imagine? But he said you could sit in. So he said the kid can sit in. So I sat in, and I must have done okay, because he invited me to play with him, to sit in with him, to come. He had a regular, like a steady 4-night-a-week gig on Upper East Side, and he said, "Whenever you want, come on." He shouldn't have never told me that, because I was there like pretty much every night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had a 12 o'clock curfew, from my parents. But as long as I had my homework done, I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was learning tunes, and "Do you know this tune?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, not really." But,
Was he one of those guys, though, that would tell you that you don't know that tune and you better go check that tune out? He would just let you kind of fumble around if you didn't?
No. It was not a lot of fumbling.
Okay.
I wasn't a fumbler. Not to say it like that. Like I'm not being, but I wasn't. Like if I didn't feel comfortable, I would not play.
Yeah.
And so he knew that too, and he said, "You just listen to it until you can feel comfortable. And you listen to a chorus or two, and when you feel like, then come on in." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And like I said, my ears were good enough that I could hear chord progressions by that time. So that's it.
Yeah.
And I just play behind him, and then he'd let me solo, and I'd do the best I could, which was okay, I guess. He wasn't cringing, and he invited me there. There's a certain, that says a certain thing. And I know now from being like, his age or older now than he was when he was doing that for me, that when you hear somebody that has a certain amount of ability, it's so endearing, and you want to help them, but they have to have a certain amount of ability.
Sure.
You don't want them clanking all over the place.
Right.